non-metropole. Your city belongs to the Covenant of Mayors, and your target to reduce emissions is actually higher than the EU headline target because you aim to slash it by a half by 2030. Would you mind telling us how you are going to achieve that, and what is the role of cities in fighting climate change?
Yes, it works. Thank you. I think the Commissioner said that ambition can also be bottom-up. I think it must be bottom-up. And I think, and I agree with my neighbour here, that the EU should scale up its objective to make it Paris compatible. That's the way we set our objectives. But I also agree with Mr. Picard that the time is not to discuss or to debate. The time is for action. I want to share a personal story that the 2nd of August 2017 was the Earth Overshoot Day. It was also the day my second son was born. And I think the responsibility we have in taking serious action today, because we know today that our children will not have the same future as we did. So cities have a key role in tackling climate change. They have means to act, because we can act on transport, waste management, on energy efficiency, on building stocks, and most importantly, we are close to the stakeholders. That's how in Nantes we have tackled climate change since more than 15 years now, and we have actively entered the Convention of Mayors and the discussions around the new Convention of Mayors as well. I think the EU cities have a key role to play because they have a historical responsibility, even if we only account for 10% of the greenhouse gas emissions today, the one we send up in the atmosphere the decades before. We carry that responsibility. And I think we need to actually scale up action. That is are problematic in the cities, because we all have done some efforts on waste management, on energy efficiency, but the question now is how to generalize it, how to massify it, because it's not the same. We had a target to reduce by 30% our greenhouse gas emissions by 2020. We are going to reach that one without too much difficulty by district heating measures, by public transportation. But the thing is, it's a very different thing to reduce by 30% and reduce by 50%. And I think that's the challenge we face today. We put on a Talanoa dialogue on our local level because we're close to the stakeholders. So we had a big energy transition debate that was centered around action, because we don't need to debate the objectives. The objectives are clear. They have been set internationally in the Paris Agreement. Now we need to see how we act. So we build on communities of actions because, for example, the energy poverty question. People that are concerned by energy poverty often don't raise up their voice to say what they need or what needs to be done. We tried to implicate them and to work with them so that must empower people to act. Because often, when we face the challenge of climate change and energy transition, the I cannot act. But if we create a we, and we can create we's about on small scale, on bigger scales, and personal action can become a more broader action. And so that's the way we build our Talanoa dialogue of our own. That's called our big energy transition debate, with a roadmap around actions with different stakeholders from the private sectors, from associations, from citizens themselves, because we need to build around energy transition. We face the explosion of social inequalities on our inner cities, on a larger scale, on a European scale. And we have also a democratic problem. And I think through energy transition, through concrete action, we can actively tackle all these challenges. But there is a certain urgency, and I think the role of cities must be better recognized And I think I pledge also for the fact that the EU should work closer together with the cities, because the action is taking place in our cities.
Thank you very much, Julie.